Hello, I'm John Claiborne with Bashful Puppet Blog, and we're continuing next segment on the Prairie Dog Puppet build. As you can see, we've got the nose on. It's the addition from the last segment we did together. So now we're ready to begin doing the arms, and I have built two arms that are going to go on here. I worked a little bit ahead of the recording, and what I want to show you is what I did to build one of these arms. I have some patterns that when I made the first one I kept careful record, and I have patterns, one for a mitten type hand for the prairie dog, and the other one is a pattern for the size and shape that I need to build the arm. And all we do for the arm is lay the pattern on a piece of the colored fabric that you need for the arm and trace it on. Once we've traced that on there, we'll just cut it out, and this is then going to be taken and rolled up. That's all we do, is just roll it up, and then as we come down to the end, I will then take that edge and fold it over so that there's like a 1/4 of an inch underneath, and then roll that in. This, I will then take that seam, which you can't even see hardly at all, and I'll use the ladder stitch to sew that seam all the way up down there. Alright? So, that's what we do, and that will end up being the arm. Now, for the hand. For the hand, I use a piece of fabric big enough so that I can get two sides out on it. I'm only going to trace one because I only need it for one side. Just take it, lay it on there so that you off to one side, trace around it, and all the way down, and then I can't get all the way in. So there we have it. This, I will bring my pins over. We'll fold it in half. Take a couple of pins and pin it together. And there we have it. This I will then do a running stitch. That is just a normal stitch, and just sew right along the lines. Now when you're sewing along the thumb here, you need to make sure that you actually come inside and go outside, because you need to be able to come into this and cut right down that thumb. And if you sew immediately on that line, you won't be able to do that. In fact, the last one I did, I actually cut it before I sewed around it, and that actually kind of helped me to make sure that I got the clearance for the thumb that I needed. If you notice on this one, the thumb's a little short. This one's right. Alright. So once you get it sewn on, cut around it and turn it inside out. Now this is really tight, but as you can see, you can get them right side out. If you work at it, push and pull and prod, and you can finally get them right side out, and then you have your finished arms and hands. Sew them on all the way around, and voila, there you have it. These we're now going to attach to the puppet. And what I like to do is pin them in place. Get a yellow-headed pin here. That way we're color coordinated. And then I'll kind of hold that up. Does that look about the right height there? Yeah, it looks about right. Then I'll sew this one on. Then once this one's in place, I will hook the other one on and get them lined up just right. And he will be done. Adorable, isn't he? Yeah, I look great. And there you have it. Prairie dog puppet, and it is done. That means we'll be ready in just a little while to move on to our purple prairie dog. And once I get all of those done, we'll come back on and show you the completed set. There is going to be some things that are going to be going on after we're done. Once I have all of the initial build complete, what I want to do is do some more things to bring out the individual personalities of the prairie dogs. And one of them is going to be a girl. I need to do some things to her to make her more girly looking. And one is going to be an old man. I need to have grandfather age. I need to do some things to make him appear more to be a grandfather. The other one's just a boy, and so probably won't need to do too much to him, but we need to do some things to bring out his personality. So we're going to look at a few things in our next episode as we do all three puppets, accessorizing them together. Okay? So there we have it. Prairie dog build from the Bashful Puppet Workshop. I'm John Claiborne. Happy puppet building.